We're on. Great. So welcome to Book Month something. Spoken word poetry workshop. Let me do this again. Welcome to the World Book Month Spoken Word Poetry Workshop. I can see all of you right now, and I am excited because we are in the final installment of the workshop, which means that we're going to focus on the most important part of spoken word poetry, which is the performance aspect. Now, if you remember, last week we looked at writing your poetry, and I have left comments on your pieces using the Google Doc. So if you can actually see it, if you have entered your poems before, I've left comments here and there on how to make it better. And you wrote a poem based on high school. Yeah, but that will be all about writing. What we are going to do now is look at how it can be done and done effectively. So I want to show you a video of a spoken word piece written and performed by an American poet named Sarah Kay. And her poem is something that we can all relate to, which is poetry. However, using the imagination, it is not people talking in the poem, but rather a bicycle tire, and a toothbrush. So enjoy.
I started doing the series of poems which are love poems or love letters between inanimate objects. And so the first one in the series is a love letter from a toothbrush to a bicycle tire. So this is toothbrush to the bicycle tire. They told me that I was meant for the cleaner life. You would drag me from them. They said that you would tread all over, that they could see right through you, that you were full of hot air, that I would always be chasing, always wanting to disappear after sleeker models, that it would be a vicious cycle. But I know better. I know about your rough edges, and I have seen your perfect curves. I will fit into whatever spaces you let me. If loving you means getting dirty, bring on the grime. I don't porcelain home behind. I'm used to twice-a-day relationships, but with you, I'll take all the time. And I know we live in different worlds, and we're always really busy, but in my dreams, you spin around me so fast, I always wake up dizzy. So maybe one day you'll grow tired of the road and roll on back to me. And when I blink my eyes in the morning, your smile will be the only one I see. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Sarah Kay's spoken poem or spoken word poetry piece. Now I have a question for you. When you were watching that piece, if you couldn't hear it clearly or you missed some parts of it, your teacher can show it to you again after the workshop. So my question is, how is her performance just now that you watched different from a standard poetry reading? How is it different? So just type them in the chat box, whatever that you can observe just now. What do you think? What is different? She was more casual instead of serious. I agree with you. So you're saying that poetry reading is usually very serious. Well, perhaps that's the idea that we have in mind, because if you have a poet and you have a page full of poem, the poet is usually more serious whenever they read it. But Sarah Kay is more casual, she speaks to the audience and so on. Okay, what else? Perhaps you can have one more answer? It sounds like slam poetry. Actually, for those who don't know, slam poetry is competitive poetry. So what they do is still the same, which is spoken word poetry. However, in a slam poetry, you have spoken word poets competing with each other. So yes, most of the time they do sound like that. Now, this is where a poetry performance or a spoken word poetry performance is different from poetry reading. And the difference is this. So spoken word poetry works because it is audience focused. You don't only have a poem that you're going to deliver, you also have the use of your voice and also the use of the body. You are basically dramatizing your poem. But we're not talking about drama here. We're not being dramatic. We are merely performing, yeah? So let's have a look at the next slide. Now, this is an important coup. She was casual. Okay. Now, this is what makes spoken word poetry very important. This is a decision that you have to make even before you start performing. Must you memorize your lines? What do you think? Should we bring our piece of paper on the stage? Or is it better for us to memorize them? What do you think? All right, type it down. None of both. Chegu Saraswati, what does it mean by that? So we shouldn't memorize or shouldn't bring a paper on stage? How do we perform then? Let's wait for one more response and I can share with everybody. It depends on the poet. Okay, I agree. Now, most of the time, spoken word poets, when they perform, they prefer to not use a paper. Now, the reason why is very simple. When you ditch the paper, it allows you to do more things that makes you different from a standard poet. The first one would be it allows you to use your hands. Like how Sarah Kay performed just now, she was doing this and this. It makes it a little bit more entertaining. The second point is it encourages you to focus on your words as well as the stage. The third one, it allows you and encourages you to have eye contact with the audience, which again makes it very different from a poetry reading. Because if you have a piece of paper, you're going to read it. But spoken word poetry is not about reading. It is about performing. And last but not least, it encourages you to be in the moment. So, spoken word poetry. Yes, it is more of memorizing. So I'm reading the chat box, the messages in the chat box. So when you don't bring a paper on stage, it does encourage you to memorize your piece. And when you memorize, it makes it a little bit easier and less intimidating, yeah? It's not about improvisation. However, there is always a possibility of you forgetting your lines. And perhaps that is when the improvisation comes in. But let's not talk about that. You should talk more about the fact that by memorizing, it allows you to interact with the audience better. Okay, so spoken word poetry is a balance of the body as well as the voice. So let's have a look. Whenever you talk about body, you're talking about body language. And when we talk about body language, what are we talking about? Number one, we talk about eye contact. Number two, hands. Number three, posture. Whether you like it or not, the minute when you're on stage, everyone is looking at you. So how you walk on stage and how you leave the stage does mean a lot of things. For example, if you walk on stage confidently, then people are already looking forward to something that is confident. And if you are slumping or slouching, it means that you're not confident of your piece. And this is even before you start performing. Can you imagine that? How scary that can be? But confidence is always the key. And practice. How do you be confident or how do you get your confidence? Practicing over and over again. And last but not least, your legs. What does it mean by that? Some people, they love to fidget, yeah? Do you always fidget? You like to shake your legs, shake your hands. I have to show you because sometimes I see this happening, yeah? Give me a quick one. So you come on stage and already you're shaking your legs because you're nervous. Some other people, they like to come on stage and they like to move around, holding the mic. That doesn't work. Because why? The focus should be on the way that you perform and the words that you're performing, not fidgeting here and there. It distracts the attention or the focus of the audience. Now, that would be in terms of body language. But what about the voice? Can we have a look at the next one? Now, when you speak, whether you like it or not, people are aware of every single thing that you're saying. So 3 important aspects. The first one is to articulate. What does it mean to articulate? It means to not mumble. I can come here and say, hello, my name is Sheena. As opposed to, hello, my name is Sheena. Hello, my name is Sheena. That is not articulating. Be aware of how you say the words, because if you mumble, people will not be able to understand you. Then how do they connect to your poem? The second one would be to emphasize. In a poem, let's just say average, you have about 50 words in your poem. Do you emphasize all of them? Obviously not. If you want them to focus on a certain image, then you emphasize on those words. So after this, when you're practicing your piece, you should speak and discuss with your group mates or your classmates or even your teacher. Ask your teacher this: which words should we emphasize in the poem? Last but not least, pauses. Because we're talking about a performance, yeah? If you pause, it has a meaning. Now, this is an example that you can see on the slide. The example is the same sentence, but which one do you focus on or do you emphasize? Now, let's have a look at the first one. You had a huge cat. You had a huge cat. Now, what does it mean? It means you, not me, had a huge cat. Second one, you had a huge cat. Imagine performing this in front of people, yeah? Same sentence, different meaning. You had a huge cat. It means you used to have it, but not anymore. Third one, you had a huge cat. Only one, not more than that. Fourth line, you had a huge cat. You had a huge cat. Huge cat, not small. Last one, you had a huge cat. You had a huge cat. Cat, not dog, not goat, not a bird. Same thing goes with the sentence, I love you, whether you like it or not. There you go. Easy sentence, I love you. Now let's try it with yourself, yeah? Amongst yourself. You can focus on the first word. I love you. I love you. I love you. Is there a difference of meaning? What do you think? I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, definitely. So if I say, I love you, what do you think it means? So I want you to share with me in the chat box, what is the difference between these 3 ways of saying things?
Only I. Only I.
Only I love you. It means only I love you. Very good, correct. And how about the second one? I love you. What do you think it means? I love you. It means that I love you, not like or hate. Very good, Cikgu Saraswati's students and also Cikgu Saraswati yourself. I do not just like you. Cikgu Ravinder, correct. I love you. I do not just like you. I love you and are madly and passionately in love with you. How about the last one? I love you. What do you think it means? Let's think about it. I can see everyone's thinking face right now. Stroke the chin a little bit. I really love you. Not only that, Cikgu Nur Mahani, it can also mean you are the only one I love and nobody else. Nobody but you, correct, Cikgu Ramvinders. So yes, 3 simple words with 3 different emphasis, articulation, and the use of pause. And that is only 3 words. We're not even talking about a whole poem here. And this is where you come in. So we are talking about your poem, everybody. Your poem about high school. I hope everybody has their poem. Remember, every school should choose only one that you are going to perform to make it more fun and give the opportunity for everybody to try their hands at spoken word poetry. Let's have all of them performing the same piece. How you want to do it, which word you want to emphasize. You can have the next 30 minutes. The next 30 minutes for your group activity, and I am going to be here until the end and guide you if you have any questions, yeah? So use the poem written last week, discuss with your cikgu, discuss with your teacher and your friends, how do you plan to perform the poem? How is, if there are 5 people in the group, who is going to stand where, who is going to speak first, how are the lines going to be articulated and emphasized, discuss in your group. Third, I want you to practice together today at least once. And by the end of those 30 minutes or any time during those 30 minutes, you want to give it a try in front of the camera, watched by everyone. You can do just that. Just inform us and we will share the screen with everybody, yeah? And if you need any inspiration, ladies and gentlemen, there's a website called YouTube. Just type spoken word poetry for inspiration. There are so many videos out there. Children as young as 9 years old until 80-year-old people, they are doing spoken word poetry. So you won't be the only ones out there. And last but not least, if you have any questions, please do ask. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, so now it is 2:55. 30 minutes. That will mean at 3:25 latest, we are going to wrap everything up. So hopefully the more questions, the better. Pronunciation is important. Yes, Cikgu Jesliang. Okay, so let's get to it. Group activity, work it, spoken word poetry. I'll do it. Do it. Let's do it. Discuss. Should we confirm the poem with you first? So Cikgu Saraswati, you don't have to confirm with me first. It will be the same poem that you have shared on the Google Doc. If you have more than one poem, choose with your class, with your students, which poem you're going to perform. Be comfortable with it.
Love at first sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So type in the chat box there.
Box.
Ampang pecah. Going for the love at first sight. Ampang pecah.
It doesn't work. Where's our phone? Oh, here. Love at first sight.
You push down. Ini boleh klik sini ke bawah. Klik sini. Dekat nama. No, our school name just now. Yeah. Just click this one, push it on the next page. Terus. Enter and boleh. Sorry. Read from here. Right. Go back to the hangout. So you can. Hanging tight there, then hang up just now.
Hang up.
Just check. Okay, say, apa Indonesia
1, 2, 3. Stop. No, I don't think. The game is good. Just to remember is the injured puzzle, but how was it possible to look at a guy in the bush of green? Whoa. You're very charming there. Every time I saw you, I see recently in the blue sky. Oh, offside, right? Offside. All the memories. All the memories of you were just a part of my. Whoa. I want the rest of my life. Did you change it? Beautiful. What? Just please come. Just now talk about it, right?
Oh, on the yes.
Change your mind. Now to come in. Terus press diagram. This is all control. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Then we stop. Say you can describe the day as well.
Where is true? Some
So maybe you can, I know,
Oke, jangan mancing, cuma diam kita jawabannya. Oke, aku di sini untuk belum masa untuk apa? Biasanya. Siapa dulu?
the king of darkness. We find out the trusting
I have seen you smile. And I forgot that your lips. I have seen your slow your necks. I have seen you years and I wanted to close. I saw your heart and there's my name.
Lives are for you. I live for you.
Tapi 12 tambah 2, 14, 14 bagi 4 nggak boleh. Ada poinnya habis 1. 12 dua orang ambil 4. Oh, ini
I love.
and I forgot I don't miss you. I have lost in your text. And I wanted you to. I saw your heart.
Dreams are for living. I live. Dreams are for dreaming. I dream of dreams. Hearts are for beating. My beats for you. Angels are for keeping. And I keep you. You are so
Like our mother always be our baby. Dua orang, dua orang, dua orang. Lima orang, dua orang. Dua, dua.
Dua orang aja. Beda, aku punya kalau 10 orang 6.
This process
You all have to.
must how to express the I lost it. He just said must do face, do the face. Affectionate. Apa sih?
No, they didn't.
That's why this is the so
Macam-macam biasa.
Hantu love so lucky to be in love with an angel, and once again want you how happy and special you make and how much I love you. Yay! Kau nak kata? Satu bulan je lah. Satu bulan je.
Oh, you dah.
Just one bulan ni.
Everything is excellent. Good now. Bola-bola tu rata saja. Yeah, expected. Academic excellent. Relax.
Kau kamu aku jadinya dari nanti kamu rasa lagi apa rasa kita ada apa jadi kalau mereka this is the comment from Sheena.
Hello, hello. Okay. Okay, Cikgu Sarasvati. Tinggal I'll leave. Do it. Hello, hello. The time. Oh wow, is that my voice, or did somebody just say hello back? Was my voice? Goodness. Okay. All right, so time is up. I can see that most of you are very gung ho about performing. So we have some time left, about 7 minutes. What we are going to do now is I'm going to choose two schools to give it a try. Yeah, just perform it. You don't have to memorize it. I do not expect you to memorize it right now. So you can use your paper. Poem should be short, not more than 1 minute. And then if I can leave comments, I can also make comments right after the performance. And the rest of us can see if we can pick up a few tips or two from your performance. Yeah? Okay, so the first group, let's choose randomly. Okay, Moi Hua. Moi Hua, can we? I can hear people laughing away. All right. So can we share screen for?
Yeah.
All right. So Moi Hua School. Okay, can you come a little bit closer to the camera so that we can all see you? Okay, we can see you. All right, let's give it a try.
I have seen my and heard about I have seen you strong and long for them. I have seen you there and I wanted you close. I saw your heart and there's my name.
Lives are for living. I live for you. Dreams are for dreaming. I dream of you. Thoughts are for thinking. I beat for you. Angels are for you. So your heart is so endless. I'm so lucky. And once again, want you how happy and how much I do.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, thank you so much. Now, what? Thank you very much. You guys were very confident in front of the camera, which is always a good thing, yeah. Now, what I can see so far is when you were reading the performance, when you were reading the poem, it sounds too much like reading. So once you memorize your piece, is it? And even though there were four people reciting, all four of you sound the same. You should take advantage of the fact that there are four different personalities there. So you can make it funny, see it differently, maybe sad. One person is a bit sad, one happy. Go for move the hands. Yeah, move the hands, be a little bit more animated. This is the difference between read and silence. Love is like love is this. On memorize, you can go, I see you that one day, and that's love. It's different. Emphasis and articulation. But good job. Congrats. Work on that. Our second school. I will go with Chegu Kegu. Where is Kegu Normahani, is it? Alright. Hey, where is Kegu Normahani, students? Did they run away from Kegu Normahani? Where are you? Okay, maybe we can choose someone. No. Okay, everybody disappeared. I think we can go with this. Which school is this? Alright, what about Kota Samarahan? Kota Samarahan? Hello, would you like to give it a try? Alright, okay, so you move the camera a little bit up. There you go. And come closer to the camera a little bit. Okay. So whenever you are ready now. Huh? Wow, there's a microphone.
School is where learning begins, part of life's journey. The knowledge I gain from teachers with friends. School is a place of new faces, where memories are made. From when I learned the good uncherished, treasured forever moments.
School is where my journey begins. School is conducive and charming place to build knowledge. School has no chance, no danger. School means the king of knowledge. Before the dawn, school is the first thing I see while I open my eyes. School is where my friends and teachers meet together. And hence our relationship with passion and no misapprehension. In the midst of the school world, I have no fear, no doubt.
Okay, so I assume that is from the same poem, yeah? So two people reciting the same one. Now, I do have to say that the articulation is good, even though I couldn't hear some of the words, but that's just the internet connection. That is fine. Now, this is one comment, yeah? If there are more than 2 people or more than 4 people on the stage, you have to be aware of where you're standing. An example would be like what the second is now. You have the first one standing here, so he was reciting, and when it's your turn to recite, you just went like, it's my space. You shouldn't do that. If there are 4 people standing here, what you can do is you can stand in front and recite it and go back to the back. However, I would definitely commend you for your strong. This will remember if you do pictures, everyone is that is definitely because sometimes you use just words, but if you use hands to say certain things like a square while you're reciting, it's a little bit more powerful because a performance is not just listening, but it's also watching. So always utilize the audience's eyes. Yeah, you do that with your body language, for you to have solid. I am definitely looking for all of your videos because now it is already 3:31. So the last and final homework. All check it out on the slide. Final homework, everybody. Once you have practiced and practiced, you have finalized your poem, you are going to record your spoken word piece on video and upload it on YouTube. That's going to make it easier for people to see you no matter where they are. And you're going to share the link on your YouTube video on Google Docs so that I can access them as well. Please finish everything and all of your homework by 30th of April and you will be in the running to win amazing prizes for the scrapbook site competition. And here we are, the workshop on spoken word poetry for World Book. I am looking forward to watching all of your videos. If you have any more questions, just type them in the chat box, and even when we're done, I can still leave some answers. Yeah. So if you have questions, you can wait after we are done. In the meantime, I thank you everybody for sticking with me for the past 3 weeks, and I hope to see you around. And have a lovely day from us at FrogAsia. Have a good day. Yay. Thank you very much. Have fun. Bye.
All right. Thank you to all schools that have joined us in the World Book Month Spoken Word session. Just a reminder, the nomination for One Best Starry Net Teacher Awards is still open until 24th of April. So do remember to nominate your teacher for the 4 categories that is shown on your screen now: most innovative teacher, most inspiring teacher, the best One Best Starry Net advocate, and also for best collaboration, especially to those schools who has been doing Hangouts. So to check out those awesome prizes, go to the website www.1bnteacherawards.com. Check out the prizes, check out the categories. Remember to nominate your teacher. And for the school that has the highest number of nomination, you are actually eligible to win a Frog Classroom makeover. All right, so remember to check out the website, and we will see who will be the winner for the scrapbook site. I can't wait.